Everyone thinks you need dozens of apps to run a successful online art business, or that it's not possible to scale a personalized product business model. But what if I told you I built a $54,000 per month personalized art store using 5 apps that I will share with you today? We've basically systematized everything so efficiently that my husband, Peter, now runs his business, and he only works about 10 hours or less per week on this store, mostly just working on the strategy, paying staff, and answering team questions and designing new products or maintaining these apps. The best part is these apps are all accessible to you. You can literally install them today. They are free to start using, so you definitely don't need a massive budget. These 5 apps have completely automated the parts of this business that used to eat up 90% of our time. So if you're an artist or creative entrepreneur who's tired of working harder instead of smarter, doing order and art management manually, stay tuned because I'm about to break down the exact tech stack that took our art business from 60-hour weeks per person doing everything manually to $54,000 per month in sales, and more importantly, how you can implement the same system starting today. Now, before I reveal these 5 apps, I need to tell you about the biggest mistake that I've seen most online art businesses make that keeps them stuck at the hobby level income forever. Your business can really only grow as far as the systems that you've built. So if you're selling on multiple platforms like we do, we sell on both Shopify and Etsy, and you have customers talking to you over email, Etsy DMs, your contact form, it's all over the place, right? Then how do you consolidate everything so it's all in one place? If you can do this, you minimize making mistakes and your work becomes so much faster. And if you're tracking orders and doing revisions using spreadsheets or sticky notes, or worse, if you're trying to keep everything in your head, this creates so much chaos. You're late on orders, your customers get frustrated and therefore unhappy and never order again. Recipe for disaster. So all of the art we make for our customers are personalized to them. And so they require multiple revisions depending on the customer, right? It's a huge headache to keep everything working seamlessly at a large scale without some use of technology. Just trying to keep track of what one customer said that they wanted to change versus what another customer said and whose order is whose is really hard to do, especially when you're working on 10 or more orders at the same time. So this is where Airtable comes in, and it's completely transformed how we handle every single order. Think of Airtable as the mission control. What it is, it's like a spreadsheet, but also a database. So it's more powerful than a simple Google Sheet or Excel file. And here's how we use it. Every single order from both our Shopify store and our Etsy shop automatically gets pulled into Airtable. There's no manual data entry. We don't do any copying and pasting. It just happens automatically. How do we do that? That's the 5th app we will talk about today, so hang tight. Here's how our Airtable works. We've set up what's called a Kanban board view, which is a column-based workflow that shows us exactly where every order is in our production pipeline. So we can see at a glance which orders need are created, which pieces are currently being worked on, what's waiting for customer revisions, what's ready to print, and what's already been delivered, and so on. From here, it is so easy for us to tell if an order is late or if it's stuck in a specific part of our workflow, like if a customer hasn't gotten back to us on approving their art. Then we have systems to get their attention, like sending up a follow-up email, giving them a call, or sending them a text message. Tens of thousands of orders have touched this system. So it's really been stress tested and proven and works really well for us. The best part is that our entire team can see this dashboard. Our artists know exactly what to work on next. Our customer service team can give accurate updates to customers, and we can monitor everything without micromanaging anyone. It is with this system that enables us to have a small team of artists. We have 4 people and 1 customer service rep. Without something like this, it would be impossible to delegate specific orders to different artists. This is also how we can consolidate working on both Shopify and Etsy orders at once without any confusion. If at this point hearing about Airtable and you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds really complicated, I am not even anywhere close to being ready to set up something like that for my business, because maybe you just want to focus on getting your first $1,000 a month with your own art business. I have a free workshop in the description below where I walk you step by step my recipe or this like roadmap for how you can start your own art business without relying on Etsy, without relying on social media, and get to consistent $1,000 months in sales and beyond. So click the link in the workshop to learn how to do that. Having organized order tracking is just the beginning, right? The real juicy stuff is how we actually fulfill these orders without holding any inventory or printer paper or shipping supplies or expensive printers at our house. Here's what most people don't understand about building a profitable online art business that pays you a full-time income. Inventory will kill your cash flow and storage will eat your profits if you're not careful. Most artists I coach make the mistake of spending way too much money on supplies, materials, and expensive equipment, and then struggle to make any sales. There's a much smarter way to do this if you're open to it. So instead of investing thousands in inventory that might not sell, we use something called print on demand. This means we only create products after customers order them. You don't have to pay any upfront fees, there's no storage costs, and you don't have to worry about being stuck with unsold inventory. Print on demand, or POD, may not be new to you, but just in case it is, that's the explainer for you, okay? Now, there are dozens of print on demand companies out there, but we personally love using Printful, who is also sponsoring this video today. We have used them for years. We use them for 3 specific reasons. First, their quality is consistently good enough for our customers. It's not the absolute highest quality material that you would get on museum or gallery level art prints, but it hits that sweet spot where customers are happy and we can still make a healthy profit. This is another mistake I see artists getting into POD make, is because we're artists, we like to go with the best quality equipment and supplies, the best frame, the best paper, right? But highest quality comes with highest cost, usually, which means you will have to charge a lot more to profit the same, or charge the same and profit less. But the kicker is, most of your customers are not artists themselves and probably won't even notice. They're not usually looking for heirloom quality prints, not usually. They care about a good value, and paying higher prices is often a deterrent for them. But when I say good value, it also doesn't mean like the cheapest, lowest prices, right? It's a little more complicated than that. So be careful about your instinct about going with the highest quality, most expensive option. Second, Printful's pricing allows us to be competitive while still making good money. So we pay Printful about 1/3 of the order value that comes in from sales. So if an order was $100, we would pay Printful about $33 for the cost of the print, the frame, packing, and shipping the order directly to the customer, and all of the labor that goes into doing all of that. Third, and this is huge, they integrate seamlessly with both Shopify and Etsy. So when a customer places an order, we make their art for them, the customer approves it, and then Printful automatically receives the order details and starts production. We don't have to manually send anything, upload stuff, or worry about orders falling through the cracks. If you've ever done print on demand before, you know it can be a lot of effort and time just uploading the art, choosing the correct product and size and frame, and entering the customer shipping information. That is all automated for us. But here's where most art businesses using print on demand still struggle: team communication. When you're doing custom personalized art, you need seamless communication between your customer service team, your artists, and the customers. Of course, assuming if you have a team, if you're at the scale that we are, it cannot be done without a team. So communication breakdowns can, I think, quietly kill your custom art business. One miscommunicated detail can turn a happy customer into a refund request and a bad review, right? When you're creating personalized art, there are constantly moving pieces. Customer service receives specific requests from the customers, and then artists need clarification on designs. Revisions need to be communicated back and forth. And if any of this happens through email or text messages or DMs, important details are so easy to get lost. This is why we use Slack as our central communication hub. We have specific channels set up for the specific order, so any order notes or customer requests get fed as a message into this channel. So the artist that's tasked with working on that order can see all those customer communications that they have with customer service after they've placed the order. So if an artist is confused or needs clarification, they ask within that channel in Slack for that specific order, and then customer service gets the note and relays it to the customer and back and forth. So the beauty of Slack is that everything is searchable, nothing gets lost. If we need to reference a conversation about a specific order from 3 weeks ago, we can find it in seconds. Plus, since everyone can see the relevant conversations and channels, if someone's out, sick, or busy on our team, anyone else on the team can jump in and help without missing context, which has been very, very helpful. So we have like this kind of tag team system going on, and Slack allows us to do that. But once our artists create these custom pieces, we need a professional way to share them with customers for approval and store the images for future reference, right? And for printing. That's the next step. This is something most people don't think about when starting a custom art business, is how do you professionally share artwork with customers, and how do you keep everything organized when you're creating hundreds of unique pieces? Where do you store all of that art? When you're doing personalized art, you can't just email large image files back and forth. Email attachments have size limits, files get buried in email chains, and there's no good way to organize everything for future reference. So Dropbox solves all of these problems for us, and here's our exact workflow. When an artist completes a piece, they upload the high-resolution files to a specific Dropbox folder organized by order number. Then our customer service team shares the low-res versions of the art with a watermark on them with the customer so they can view their artwork. If the customer requests revisions, the artist uploads the new version to the same folder in Dropbox. The customer service sends the new files. Everything stays organized in the Dropbox folder, and we have a permanent record of every revision and version we've ever created. This also creates an incredible asset library. Sometimes customers come back months later wanting to order the same design as a gift for another family member, and we can find their original artwork right away. We also keep the layered Photoshop PSD files in the Dropbox folder, so if a different artist takes over working on that particular order, they can start off exactly where the previous artist stopped. Now, all of these apps are powerful on their own, right? But the real magic happens when they all work together automatically. And that's where most businesses get stuck. They have great tools, but everything still requires some manual work to connect them and get them talking to each other, right? Here is what separates a $5,000 per month art business from a $54,000 per month art business. Automation. Most creative business owners are so focused on creating and designing and making art that they never spend the time to systematize the business side, which is what will open you up to take on a lot more orders, even with a small team, even if it's just you. So we use an app called make.com. It's like Zapier, if you've heard of that. If you've delved into automation tools online, you've probably heard of Zapier. Make is like its big brother. It's got a lot more stuff, and it's like having a digital assistant that never sleeps, and it can connect all of your apps to work together seamlessly. Think of it as like the nervous system that makes your entire business run on autopilot. Here's an example of what you can set up for yourself. When a new order comes in on Shopify or Etsy, Make automatically creates a new record in our Airtable database with all of the order details. It then creates the Slack channel and the Dropbox folder for that particular order. When an artist is done making the art, the automation moves the layered Photoshop file into that order's Dropbox folder. And then when a customer approves their artwork, and because Printful has direct integration with Shopify, we can send the final files to Printful to start production. The result is that orders flow through our system so smoothly, like butter. From the moment a customer clicks buy to the moment they received their personalized art, our team touches each order maybe 3 to 4 times instead of like 15 to 20 times. Before implementing this system, we were doing everything manually, and the process was so error-prone, and we made so many mistakes that lowered customer satisfaction and our ability to have a fast turnaround time and get orders to the approval stage faster. Now, with these 5 apps working together in tandem, we can consistently make 5 to 6 figure sales months, especially around the holidays, and not have to hire more help because the tech takes care of so much of it for us. Personally, I find what this all really helps is the customer experience. Our customers now get faster response times because nothing falls through the cracks. They get sent their art proofs professionally. They get accurate order updates because everyone can see the Airtable pipeline, and they get consistent quality because our processes are systematized. We are so on top of the ball because of this tech stack. And our team gets clear priorities because Airtable shows exactly what needs to be done, right? They get easy communication through Slack They have no repetitive manual tasks thanks to the system, and they have more time to focus on creating amazing art instead of manually trying to manage all of this chaos. These 5 apps have completely changed how we run this business, but the question I get all the time is, how do I actually get customers in the first place without a huge social media following? Because having the perfect app set up won't matter if you don't have customers to begin with, right? And most artists think they need to spend all day posting on Instagram or going viral on TikTok to build a successful online business. But that is completely backwards. I break down exactly how to get your first customers in this video right here. I'll show you the exact system I use to build multiple 7-figure handmade businesses without chasing followers or going viral on social media. So if you want to learn how to get customers and build a profitable art business from scratch, click that video and I will see you over there.